teacher population in Savannah Chatham County schools that has hailed directly from the Caribbean. Many Jamaicans are here, teachers from Bahamas, St. Croix, Turks and Caicos. The goal is really to help Caribbean nationals see how best they can add to the growth of Savannah, and for local Savannah natives and government agencies to see us as valuable members of the growing diaspora community.
I am the change that I want to see. Watch me change the world, 'cause the change lives within me. The answer's in the mirror, the mirror, in the mirror. Oh yeah, the answer's in the mirror.
Absolutely amazing. Those kinds of stories just warm my heart, Dennis, and just really gives us the hope that we need. Now, shifting mindsets, transforming lives by living a life on purpose is the cornerstone of Dr. Sally Ann Gray's life. She is an educator and author who has her doctoral degree in educational leadership. She serves on several education boards and steering committees with the goal of ensuring that global education efforts are equal and accessible for all. She joins us this morning from Savannah, Georgia. Welcome to Sunrise, Dr. Sally Ann Gray. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
When I saw your story and read your story, you know, you're just such a beacon of hope, and I think representation matters. So when young people see somebody like you, they can see themselves, they can see their struggle, but they can also see that it is possible to overcome, it is possible to do better, it is possible to soar like the eagle and really make a difference in the world.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so grateful that my life represents that, because it certainly didn't start that way, Miss Kitty. So I'm just grateful to God. I'm giving God all the glory for impact and for being able to move past how my story started and really take hold and charge of how it will end.
Well, quickly, sorry, Dennis, just quickly, Doc, you know, for those of our viewers who may not know your story, can you just, in a synopsis, just tell us where you come from and how it go?
Oh, it go. All right. So I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, right? So not because I'm not physically in Jamaica. I was born and raised in Jamaica, given away by my biological mother on Lyndhurst Road. You know, I've never met my biological mother, but she was enrolled to, back in the day, RJR to make this announcement that she had a baby to give away. And the gentleman who ended up taking me from her raised me alongside his wife, and they, in fact, are my parents. And, you know, once I started to learn about that between the ages of 10 to 13, going into high school, you know, I had a very low self-esteem, low self-concept, and all of that morphed into me looking for, you know, loving all the wrong places and just being coined a wayward teenager. And so I did pass common entrance. I went to St. Richard's Primary School on Red Hills Road, passed my common entrance, and I was headed to St. Andrew High School for girls. But somehow, it didn't really last. I was asked to leave. And after being kicked out of high school, then, you know, I started my reform. I did therapy and all the things to get back on track. And from there, I went to Michael Teachers College because my mom was a lecturer there. And she suggested that I do special education. And that started my love affair with education. I saw a pathway through which I could empower teenagers who were just like me. And so I really didn't have a very smooth beginning. But guess what? The same principal who kicked me out of high school employed me 4 years later. So
I was going to come to that point and ask you.
I started my education, my career as a teacher at my alma mater after being kicked out.
Wow.
I was going to raise that point to say, how did you get kicked out of high school and then within a very relatively short period of time end up as a teacher there, entrusted with, you know, the minds of these young ladies. I found it fascinating but I found it encouraging that the same principal who said, maybe this is not the place for you, came and said, maybe this is the place for you to teach.
Yes.
And I
Yes,
suppose...
honestly, let me tell you something. When you talk about life come full circle, that's exactly what happened. After graduating Michael, I actually saw a past teacher of mine in Lee's food fair. And I mean, she was like, Sally, at that time, you know, I wasn't even gray yet. She was like, Sally, what are you doing with yourself? And when I told my past teacher that I just graduated from Michael Teachers College, I mean, her hand subconsciously left the cart and it started rolling down the aisle, for real. And she was like, listen, you have to come. You have to come by. Please come and see us. I'm sure Mrs. Reed would love to hear this. And honestly, Mrs. Reed, the former principal of St. Andrew High School, she morphed from one of my teachers into the principal who kicked me out into a mentor and friend. And I'm just so grateful, you know, and I use my story to encourage students that your life is less about where you start, how you come from, but it's all about how you finish, and we have the power to finish strong.
Amen.
Dr. Gray, I'm going to ask you to hold the line. We're going to break for the news. I really want to finish this conversation.
Yes.
TK is on standby with the news at 7, so we return with more Sunrise in just a moment.
The answers in the mirror, in the mirror, oh yeah. The answers in the mirror, in the mirror, oh yeah. It's not a black and white thing, but a dark and light thing.
The answer's right here on Sunrise. We're still here with educator, author, philanthropist, Dr. Sally Ann Gray, who is living her life on purpose by shifting mindsets and transforming lives. She was adopted at 3 months old, diagnosed with ADHD at 15 years old, kicked out of St. Andrew High School for girls at 17, but destiny fulfillment was the only thing, that brought her to where she is today. Dr. Gray, you know, before the break, we were talking about the impact of your principal on guiding your life. And it makes me think if she had something to do with not just your fascination with education, but educational leadership and management, because that's so critical to the destiny of so many students and institutions.
Yes, sir. She absolutely did. Mrs. Sharon Reed, I would say she's a stalwart, you know, just observing her, how she led the school. And sometimes you would bring initiatives to her, and the first thing she starts asking you is about the vision, the mission, the objective. How are we going to fund this thing? Sally Ann, you know, when you have a lot of ideas, but you have someone who can rein you back in with the strategic management portion, it's very important. And so from there, I learned that management, you know, God only gives us what we're able to manage well, right? Because if you can't manage $10, certainly how will you manage 10 million? And so educational leadership in and of itself, strategic leadership for institutions is very important, not just from the academic development, but the social development, the fiscal development of organizations and institutions, just very, very important.
And talk to us now about what you're doing at present, Sally Ann, because I know you're booked and busy, honey. So what are you doing now, and where can persons get your book to buy, or, you know, just to hear you, because I know you're a living inspiration for many.
All right. So I'm currently residing in Savannah, Georgia, and I serve in a school district here as a transition specialist. So I'm really just helping students navigate real life once they graduate, just getting them into the workforce and also into post-school options, whether they're going to go to trade school or, you know, traditional university. So that's what I'm into right now. I'm finding a lot of, you know, value in doing that work. and also partnering a lot with institutions in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica in March, spoke at an event there, and I still continue the work that I do to empower my fellow Jamaican nationals, working through committees. I still do a bit of work with Heart Trust NTA, where I worked for about 5 years. But if persons want to find me, interact with me, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram at Sally Ann Speaks. I'm on Facebook at Sally Ann Gray. I'm on LinkedIn at Sally Ann Gray. And certainly I have my website, www.sallyanngrayspeaks.com.
Yes.
Or you can just Google my name, Sally Ann Gray. I think I'm pretty easy to find, and I'm very approachable and accessible.
I've checked, you are.
Yes. And how did it feel, Sally Ann, to graduate with the Prime Minister? I mean, I saw...
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. How was that for you?
Thank you so much.
How was that for you
so
to
much.
graduate with, the Honorable Andrew Holness? I see you guys in a photo there. What was that like?
It was really amazing, guys. When I tell you, I'm so humbled, Sir Brooks, Mrs. Kitty. I am so humbled. I'm humbled to be even in your presence. I was humbled to be in the Prime Minister's presence. I was humbled to even be admitted into the program, because when I tell you, that growing up, hearing the things I was hearing about myself, you're not going to come out amount to anything. Oh, you're so bad and you get so much trouble and you this and you that. It's just a humbling experience.
Yes.
And to get to that achievement and being in the presence of my own PM, shaking his hand, it was just a momentous occasion. And I wish, achievement and purpose and those types of feelings of accomplishment for every single person, every viewer, every listener this morning, just to encourage you to take heart, irrespective of where you sit in your life today, that all things are possible for him who believes.
Amen. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I hope that your family in Jamaica, they're okay with the passage of Beryl and everybody is safe.
Yes. My parents, they reside in Old Harbor. They leave America. Them can't cross it. They want to be in their home country right now. So they were warm in their bed. I'm so grateful. Their internet has been restored. My mother-in-law, she has since left the island, but she was there during Beryl, and she was fine. My sister and extended family and friends, everybody is good to go, and I'm just so grateful. And to anyone who may have suffered, I gather that like 3 parishes in the island, St. Elizabeth, and 2 others, were a bit ravaged, and I did see some coverage of a few persons losing their lives. So for anyone who may have suffered physical loss to their home structure or the loss of a loved one, prayers are going up from my family to yours.
All right, my love, thank you so very much, Dr. Sally Ann Gray. Congratulations to you, so proud of you, and I wish you all the best. May you continue to thrive in every way possible. Sally Ann Gray, educator and author, and a very special guest right here on Sunrise. Stay right there, don't move a muscle, because we have lots more right after this break.
Acknowledge them fighting. So get this right, king. You're not a peasant, you're a king. Stop fussing over dirt, which is the color of your skin. Greater than your outside is the image that's within your character. Like this, like lightning, you're shining. Don't conform, be transformed. The world changes rising. Oh.